Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of this goblet sort of tutorial using gold and Black Widow's pencils. Now in the first video we did this part. I might fiddle around with it a little bit more later, but what we're going to do is we're going to start with getting the basics of the gold down on this lower bit and then have a think about the rest after. And I'm not sure whether this is going to be the last video, if there'll be another one, you know, I don't know. So we're going to start with our dark brown again, Black Widow Huntsman. So if you've used a different pencil brand for the top part, or if you're just joining me now and you're going to go back to this bit later, which you very well can do, pick your darkest brown. And we're just going to start here, put a little bit in amongst these are sort of going to be gemstones, these round bits. I don't think I'm really close enough, hold on. Let's get the whole of that in there. That's better. So just a little bit of dark brown around the sort of fading into the there. So that's a bit lighter than this end bit. On this next one we've got some swirls. We're not going to do those, we're just going to do the edges like that. There. And then we've got this piece, I'm not going to do that line yet. Down here now we've got this sort of line pattern. I'm actually going to ignore that because I think it's a little bit too complicated. So I am going to do this. Just fade a bit of brown towards the middle. I am very tempted to do this as a giant gemstone. I think I will, so I'm going to leave that. Down here we have this sort of intricate pattern. I think I'm going to ignore it again and just colour in like this. I think that might work. Oops, let's just make sure that's quite dark. Again, we've got a line here which I'm going to leave for now. Now here it gets a little bit complicated because we've got this bit here which to me looks like it should be slightly dipped in compared to this bit, which makes me think that I'm going to do this bit in a dark brown and actually leave that edge bit for now. Just going to scumble that a bit so that we can blend in the lighter colours easier. And I'm thinking maybe this dipped in bit, this bit's dipped in here. Just, whoops, it's going to go around the edge. Like that, and here it's going to be quite dark this bit because it's thin. I haven't sharpened my pencil. Now I've got a loopy bit here and a leafy bit. I think I would do it similarly to the leaves on the top part where we didn't colour these with our darkest colour. So I'm just going to start here with the dark brown. Excuse me, and then colour that in a little bit. And a bit under there. And do the same on this side so that we're going to try and make the rest look like it's standing out a little bit. How far did we go? Oh, not maybe a bit more there. Now this bit I'm going to colour. It's quite dark, I've just realised. The sun is shining brightly and I've shut the blind. I did open it because I had it shut for the first part of the video. And I opened it because the sun had gone in. As soon as I opened it, guess what happened? Yeah, the sun came out. I've got to go out later, so it'd be okay if it was sunny, but we'll see what happens. Can't trust the weather by any stretch in the UK, ever, at any time of the year. You never leave the house without a mac or an umbrella unless it's really warm and you're going straight back home after. You just can't trust the weather. Especially here where we live in a valley, got hills around us, and the weather can suddenly come over the hill and change everything. Now this is the Foxy Brown. Actually, I'm just going to stop the video because I can hear that my washing's finished. It's so exciting. I'm just going to go and have a little look at it. Right, I'm done with that, and now I'm trying to work out where we are. Right, Foxy Brown. Yes, I'm going to go over the top of what we did and then just take the colour a little further in, remembering again that we need to leave it light down our centre. Excuse me. Yeah, the towels were almost dry, so I threw them over the area, and the sun was coming in the door, so I thought, I'll just finish drying them off a little bit. And of course, as I was putting them on the area, the sun went in and vanished. Typical. But hopefully it will, it's actually back out now, I can see through the blind here. It's one of those, it's that sort of time of year, you know, where you can't rely on the weather, as I was saying before, you know. Even in any time of the year in the UK, you can't. So I'm going to do all of the Foxy Brown. I'm doing the darker bits first. So just like I did at the top, going back over what I did already. And then we'll come back round and do the embossed bits with a little of this. I think this is an interesting page. I haven't seen many completed versions of this, to be honest. I wonder whether sometimes people sort of do leaves down here rather than making it look metallic, or just colour it in coloured. I'm pretty sure I've seen it done in paint, gold paint. There are some really pretty gold paints out there that really have a lot of shine, even more so than like a gold gel pen or paint pen. But I don't do painting. Husband does. He's doing. He painted lots of bookmarks, which you may have seen in my completed pages videos, which we've now put up for sale on a Ko-fi shop for him because so many people said they like them. So I'm going to go back up here and do a little bit on these bits. Okay, and a bit in here. So some of those are selling already, which is lovely. Oh, I nearly started doing that. I'm not doing that. And I've also put some of his prints, his mini pictures up, where he likes to paint smaller items, not large paintings, and it's rather good because it means when you sell them, they go in quite a small envelope. I'm not sure what to do about this outline. I think I'm going to ignore it and see how it fares. So just doing that a little bit. I'm just doing that lighter than here. Maybe that's a bit different to what I did before. Yes, so I put some of those up as well for sale on his shop. He's got an Instagram page, a Facebook page and a YouTube page now, so he's trying to do a bit of work. But what he's actually done is he has decided to, this is the stink bug, there we go, spend a lot more time I'm going to sharpen, we've got some really small areas to concentrating on his art. Partly he just really likes it, he doesn't really want to do it. He knows that it isn't a huge money maker, but if he can make a little bit, it can help pay towards his hobby, you know, materials and things. But it sort of boosts his confidence more than anything, you know. If people buy things, it's rather nice. I'm trying to work out what I'm doing here. I'm going to come in there. Yeah, and as I say, it gives him a bit of money to buy new paints and brushes and paper and all those sorts of things, which is nice, because he's going to be spending more time, as I say, on it, because he's hoping that he can reduce his working hours. He finds work very stressful, and as a lot of people do, but fortunately he's sort of in a position where if he reduces his hours, as long as we're really careful, he can you know, we can still manage. We're sort of aware that, you know, our boys are getting older and they'll actually be working themselves next year. So, you know, there's less pressure on the finances sort of thing, in a way. I'm going to have to buck up and do a bit more earning myself. But I've got a few ideas I need to start thinking about. But it's tricky while the children are on holiday at the moment, and husband's actually on holiday at the minute too. It doesn't leave me much time to be sort of investigating new ideas, but I will be. I've got some things in the pipeline, oh, in my brain pipeline, not actually doing anything yet. Sadly unrelated to colouring, but needs must, I guess. So we'll see what happens. I've got some a passive income stream idea. Now, passive income is when you don't actually work to earn it, like if you invest or something. So I've got a few ideas of that which I need to investigate, which will be good, but it's not usually that easy. Okay, now we are moving on to our banana, but yeah, it's going to be much better, I think. You know, it means we'll actually we'll have some time together. We'll have some more family time. Usually, he sort of has to spend the weekend just getting over work and, you know, preparing for the following week, really, rather than actually doing fun things. So I think it will help a lot. But we haven't actually heard when it's going to happen yet. His company have to sort it all out. This is looking a bit more coppery than the bit above. I think it's because the spaces are smaller, we've got less space for yellow. But I don't mind, to be honest. But it sort of means that when it comes to retirement, there'll be a bit less pension money. But we are both very innovative in thinking of ideas of ways to earn. I'm not quite so good as husband at doing that, but I'm very good at putting things into practice. And we've done lots of things over the years. He sort of invented this idea of this waterproof memo board, which he started off being called a shower board, and then we realised it had other applications, which actually made it quite difficult to marketing wise, because we couldn't decide who to sell it to, you know. But we found that it's like a plastic board, which became problematic because people have sort of fallen out of love with plastic. Like a dry white wiper board, so you write on it, but you write on it with a pencil, a China graph pencil, which there's some Velcro, you can stick it on the board. We're not central. I'm sorry. Is that the central line? There's lines on my screen. How would you know? You don't know. Right, you can't see what I'm seeing. I hope you can't see the lines on the screen. That would be a bit off-putting. I'm sharpening my Huntsman again, and I'm going to do some of the shadow lines like we did on the top. I'm pointing up here, you can't see. And then I will think about whether it needs a little bit more here and there. I'm not sure. It doesn't look quite as neat for me, but we'll see. So I'm thinking under this main part of Goblet, I think there would be a shadow under there. So I'm just going to try to put a dark line underneath. It's quite tricky working around these little circles. But yeah, so the waterproof memo boards, you can still buy them off Amazon actually. And we've only got a few left. As I say, because people sort of fell out of love with plastic. So it became, you know, plastic is sort of the enemy really, but in some ways it's very good because it's reusable. You can use it instead of paper. And so actually, and you write on it with a pencil, not a pen. So actually you in a way you might be being better for the environment than writing on lots of paper and throwing it away. That was a disaster. I don't know if you can see what I did, but I just put the brown line right over the top of the bit that's supposed to be pale. Never mind. I'm going to do a line across the top though. Yeah, so we found that people were buying it for all sorts of reasons. We had someone who worked in a lab who bought a whole box full to use at work rather than using paper, which was quite fun. I'm just going to do one under this bit, I think. Maybe quite a thickish bit here. And then someone did it who was to write down times for motorsports when they were out in the rain. That was quite interesting. We thought they could be quite good in classrooms. We know kids use whiteboards in classrooms in the UK. We thought they might be a sort of instead of that. Yes, there were sort of different uses, but the main idea was that husband used to have ideas in the shower. To be honest, I tend to not stay in the shower long enough to get ideas, although my ebook that I wrote, the colouring book, colouring tips book that I wrote, that a lot of you have bought, thank you. That one, I had 3 chapter ideas in the shower. But so he used to get these ideas in the shower and think, how am I going to write them down? You know. So, and then one day Johanna Basford said that she used to get ideas in the shower and she didn't. And so we sent her one. It wasn't a sort of plug because we've nearly sold out, which we still have nearly sold out. We don't sell very many anymore. I'm not actively promoting them. Well, I am now, aren't I? But not normally. Yeah, they were an idea, and they sold quite well for a little while. And we did various blogs and things when they were a thing. I know some people still do blog, but I'm going to do a little bit between each of these leaves, I think, under these loops. So yeah, I've done he said he used to have loads of ideas as a kid as well, and then his parents would say, yeah, no, you can't do that, but he'd say that wasn't very good. But of course they knew him well. He's an ideas person. You know, there are some people who have ideas and some people are good at carrying out ideas, and he was good at coming up with them but not then sticking with doing them. So I think they knew that. And also it's expensive. One of my ideas as a kid was to have like an ice cream van but for soup. And apparently there's someone that now does it. I think Covent Garden Soup Company do it. So he was a bit cross that someone else had done it, you know. But anyway, he has got his name on a couple of patents, which is quite fun. I don't really know what they were for. There was something that he did at work in one particular job, and he got his name on the patent. It doesn't mean anything, but it's just a nice little thing to have to say you've done, isn't it? I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting some shadow under there, and then I'm going to go back along the bottom doing it under here. Then my pencil's a bit blunt. So yeah, he's very good at ideas, so I think that will be good. Because we've always sort of said we didn't really want to stop work in retirement. You know, if we can work, we would want to. Right, I'm sharpening up my pencil again, and I'm just going to try and erase that bit that's on top of it. I'm going to go around the edge. So, yeah, so we think we'll probably keep working on that. You know, it's really early days. We're only in our early 50s, so still got a fair amount of time before we have to even think about it. But we're both paying into pensions, but they don't seem like they're going to be very much. You know, I remember, I don't know what I get a bit worried because I remember my poor old gran. She used to although she had a fair bit of money put by, she always wanted to make sure she had enough to pay for her, bury her, she would say. And so she actually ended up giving that money to my dad to look after. But she would, you know, she wouldn't have lots of luxury items and things like that. Now, I want to do a little more on this as a whole before we move on and do anything else. Some of the areas where there's shadow for me don't look dark enough, so I'm going to get a black. I've got the Black Widow black, as it is, black, and I'm going to just do some areas. Now, where am I going to start? Whoops, I'm going to start by knocking the book all square. It's quite blurred at the top, isn't it, from my light? Oh, no, turning the light out wasn't a good idea. I was trying to move it. I think we'll just come in closer and work down the page. I think that will be easy for you to see what I'm doing. There. Now, so I've got my Black Widow. I'm going to start by going under here a bit, defining here. I think the shadows underneath items should be darker than the ones sort of around the sides and on top. So that's what I'm going to start by doing. Just emphasising them a little bit more. And under here. Yeah, my gran used to, I mean, she was fine, but she didn't have central heating, so she'd have to pay for that, you know, radiators. She just had a plug-in radiator, which she put on occasionally. She was quite used to wrapping up warm and not having to put her heating on. Now, I like my heating on. And she, you know, there was no mobile phones, or there was, but she didn't have one. There were, so I'm doing under there. I'm going to do underneath these gemstone bits as well. She did have a TV and a radio, but nothing else, no computers or anything to pay for, no broadband, none of that sort of thing. She didn't run a car, she couldn't drive. She rarely went to town. She would buy her clothes. Just going to go around there, I think it's going to improve it. She would buy clothes in for 10 pence at the sort of tabletop sale, things like that, or swap clothes with her friends and things like that. And she was very resourceful, but it's like, I don't know if I want that sort of thing for me, you know. I think I'd rather work and earn a bit more money and be able to I'm just looking in the screen and be able to afford a little bit more. Oops. So I'm going to go, I've done under there. It's these, under these leaves as well. I'm not feeling it yet. I'm going to put a darker line. So, and she was used to always being, having to be very careful with money. The thing is, she had a tough time actually. Her husband, who she married because she thought he was well off. A mistake, don't do that. He, not only did he have a bit of a gambling problem, he got very unwell and couldn't earn. So that was obviously no fault of his own, but what that meant was she had to go out to work, and she worked in cleaning, or she'd actually worked when she was younger too. She worked as, she did washing up in the kitchen, she did caring for people who were ill, she did babysitting, cleaning, that sort of thing. You know, manual laboury jobs. She didn't have any, I mean, women didn't, you know, she didn't stay on at school and get any qualifications, and it was particularly, lower class, I suppose is the right term, you know, didn't get that sort of, do that sort of thing. So she had to just do what she could, and very admirable. I'm just looking for bits where I think needs a little bit of definition. Yeah, I'm much happier with that. I'm Gonna have a look at the base. Oops, that's not quite in shot, hang on. Choop, choop. There we go. I'm just going to go into here. So yes, I don't really want that sort of retirement where I'm sort of worrying and struggling and, you know, having to rely on my kids to buy me stuff. I wouldn't want that. So yeah, but I like working hard. I'm not, you know, I like doing stuff. I don't like sitting around. It's fun. And thinking of ways to make money and earning, and then when you get some coming in, I love that. It's just nice. And I tend to be self-employed. I've been self-employed since we moved here. I worked and did a variety of office jobs, and then when we moved into this town I couldn't find one, and I went self-employed. I've been ever since, and that was in 2001. So I've always done little jobs. I've done a money blog, written ebooks, written ghostwritten books for other people as well as books for myself. Oh, that was wrong. That should have been above the line. That's gone very wrong. But never mind. I'm just gonna carry on, pretend it didn't happen. So yeah, all sorts of things like that, which has been a lot of fun, interesting, and I sell books as well. You know, physical books that I would buy. So sort of keep chopping and changing what I was doing. But yeah, just going around each of these, and then I think we'll colour them in. I'll try and decide what colour to do these stones. Now, I do have all my Black Widow sets in here because I was thinking that Ivy skin is going to need the skin tone pencils, I think. And so that might be a bit different. Now, if you are, because we're going to now move away from gold, my hair's dropping on the page, because we're going to move away from the gold colour, which I'm now happy with. We're going to be using maybe different sets of Black Widows, and the gold comparison chart with the different colours is obviously not going to apply. So if you struggling, I do have some conversion charts between Black Widows and other sets in my Ko-fi shop. If you find there isn't one that works for you, let me know and I might be able to make one that works for you. Now let's have a little look. I'm going to start with a really dark purple. I've decided I want my gemstones to be purple. There are some such lovely purples in the Black Widow set that I'm going to use these. Now this is the Cobra set and this is Space. I really should come in, but I've got so many gemstones to do. Let's come in a little bit because we don't need to see Ivy and House Mouse at the minute. There we go. So this is my darkest colour purple. It's called Space. Now I'm probably going to be using 3 or 4 shades of purple and violet, the sort of bluey purples. Okay, just so whatever set you're using, you might want to gather 3 or 4. Find your darkest. This is the darkest. Okay, and we're going to start around here. Really get up against that black line. I might put some black in that space as well if I feel it's necessary later. So all the way around, and then just sort of start to scumble it in a little bit. So do a few little circles to just fade it in. Now this is like our main focal point of our whole goblet, but you know, don't panic. We're gonna go around the edge of these. It's it should be fine. I don't know why I said that. I made myself panic. So this one too. Now the very teeny tiny ones are a little trickier to think about what to do. Now, like this. I'm going to move down to this one. Now I could white out this black line, but I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to colour over the top and hope that it just fades itself back, because I find it really difficult colouring over the top of white pen. Some people seem to do it really well. I think it can depend on the pencil set, because if you've got one that's quite soft, it can just glide over the white a little bit. If you've got one that's hard, it chips the white off, which obviously isn't ideal. Okay, so we've got I'm going to do a little border around each of these. I need to sharpen my pencil because we've obviously got much smaller shapes. And I'm just going to roughly go around the edge. I say roughly. Try not to be too rough. I can hear banging about. Someone's gone upstairs. No, someone's walking around in the corridor. My son's actually streaming at the moment. One of them. I think that's husband's gone upstairs. Now these bits here. It's so sunny this afternoon. I do need to go out, but I'm waiting for a text. I think that there. Yeah, I got to pick up a prescription, but the chemist is supposed to be texting me when it arrives, so I haven't heard anything. I actually need to speak to husband about his prescription. His is coming through different means, but I don't know if I need to make a phone call. I think he said he had to pay for it, and then it's coming. We'll see. Yeah, he's changing his meds over. So yeah, it's been a tricky time because he had to just stop taking what he was taking. These I'm just going to fill in with it. Well, I'm going to leave a bit of a space, but they're so small that if you're struggling, just fill it right in. But I think I'll just put another colour in the middle if I can. But he can't take them at the same time, so he's got to come off one before we can go on the other. So that's interesting. So he's been finding it a little bit tough, but I think he'll get there. He's been doing really well actually, and it's been a bit of a tricky time, been having to, yeah, but it's all okay. I think that's why I've had sinusitis, because I've been a bit stressed, you know, worried about how he's doing, but I think it's okay. But yeah, I'm hoping that, because the ones he was on were sort of general, the ones he's going on a bit more specific, so I think they might be more successful, should we say. I feel that the ones he was on before had stopped working. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. And I've got to take my son to the hospital as well in a few weeks' time, but that's okay. It's nice because it's a very late afternoon appointment. It's a bit annoying because it clashes with meal time, but we can manage with that. But he'll still be on his Easter holiday from uni, so that's nice and useful. I'm going to move on to the grape. This is a beautiful colour. I'm going to start with the central one again, and I'm just going to start where I was scumbling it. I'm going to go over that, and then just bring the colour in and sort of fade it down. It's got a bit of pink in this, which is rather pretty, I think. I'm going to do the same with this other large one. and then we'll work on the little ones. The little ones might not be able to have another purple, they might just have to have these two, as I said before. Yeah, my sons will probably be able to tell us if his meds are working or not. It's so hard. Why do they not have a test to know? But anyway, so we're going to go around the edge of these again. It's mad, everyone seems to be on meds when I grew up. Actually, my dad was when I was young, but he stopped taking them. He didn't need them anymore. He's on different meds now. Of course, being older, he's got men's issues, shall we say. He's on meds for that. But prostate, by the way, in case you were thinking anything else. He's had an op already. There's nothing, it's not caused by anything nasty, thankfully. But he needs another op and he hated it. He doesn't want another one. He found it so difficult. But anyway, that's for him to decide if he's how he feels. My mum's about to change her meds too. She's not got type 2 diabetes, but she needs a higher dose and the metformins don't suit her. A small dose is okay, but a high dose doesn't suit her. I think it's quite common for it to upset tummies, so she's going to try and be put on something different, I think. Which would be good. Because she finds it really hard. She used to control it with diet, but she finds it hard now. I think as you get older it's harder to control it with diet anyway. But you just have to also be in the right mindset. It's not just as easy as going, well, just eat this, this and this. You know, I'm very much feel that it's very unfair expecting people to be able to eat healthily when the choice of food that we're offered in supermarkets is certainly not. It makes it really hard, and it's, you know, manufacturers design their food to be addictive, to make people want to eat lots of them. They know what powers our brains and what makes us want to eat things. And salt, fat and sugar, they put lots in to get us to eat. And it's hard, really hard. Now I'm choosing my next purple, and I've got an amethyst in my spider set. I've got a pastel purple, I don't want that. And the purple white. Now I'm going to use the amethyst, I think is going to be the best one. So this is from the Black Widow, the spider set. And again, going over this, and just bringing our colour in towards the middle. Like that. This is my last layer, so I can sort of build it up a bit more until I'm sort of happy that it looks right. Like that. And I'm going to do this other big one down here as well. There we go, so just leaving it a bit paler in the centre. I'm just going to not worry about that black marking. I think if you wish, you could try and go over it with white and then go over it again with the, you know, with a white pen and go. I'm not confident I can carry that off, so I'm going to think it will look better left. So for these, I'm just going to fill in the white. Now if you don't have a white pen, you might want to leave the white so that it shows up. But I do have a white pen which I'm going to use, so it will show it up, so I don't need to worry about that. Now I'm sort of thinking here, what's in the goblet? Oh, it says water. I'm just reading the text. Sorry, that's a bit boring for you. because I was thinking, what colour are these drips? But as it's water, then they'll be see-through, but I think we can probably make them blue or something. Yeah, so if you don't have a white pen, you might want to just leave out little white dots. But I don't need to, fortunately. I think the white pen will do a better job than me leaving a dot, partly because the paper isn't actually white, it is cream. So if we can put white, it stands out even more than just leaving a bit of the paper there like we have for our gold, and we aren't going to put white pen there. I've tried that before and I didn't like it. There we go. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is use a slightly darker colour on some parts of these gemstones, not all of them, the bigger ones, just to make them stand out a little bit more, look a little bit more rounded. I'm just looking at how long I've been going for and whether I should stop in a bit. I've got to go and check my phone, and also I haven't got my pastels in here. So what I'm going to use is, shall I use that or that black? I'm going to use black. This is my black. I'm going to use it along the edge of here. I thought I might want to, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't initially. I'm trying not to be too heavy-handed. I'm trying to just use it gently-ish to try and just darken a bit. There we go. And I'm going to use it on the sides of here too. It just adds, and underneath, just adds that bit of definition. See, I'm wondering about these because you've just got black underneath, so I might not don those, or these, or those. Actually, I might put it just slightly inside, like that, so not right on the bottom. And here, like a little bit, just bottom. There we go. And here, maybe just a little bit there. So we've left a little gap between the black and the edge. It's almost like what I would do with white, but we'll do it with the white. We'll do a white pen work end as well. What I'm going to do is do my white pen, and then, oops, just picked up a pencil. That's not what I wanted at all. I'm going to put on my white pen. I've picked up 3 pens so far, none of them 4. None of them been the pen I want. There we go. Fifth time lucky. I'm going to put the white pen on, and then I'm going to go away for a bit, and we'll finish off Ivy House Mouse in the background in another video, or else I think I might just end up rushing a bit because I need to go and see if I need to go and pick up the prescription. So this is the Jelly Roll 8, and I'm going to use it in the top edge of these. I have been asked which white pens I prefer. A Jelly Roll and a Posca, I would say, are very similar. Nib size, Posca PC1MR is what I always use. I can do across that side. This one's middle, that's both. This one I'm just going to put a little dot near the top. So small. Yeah, Sakura, I like the 8s and the 10s, or 0.8s and 1s, they are actually. You can get a 3-pack with a 5.5, 0.8 and 1 in, which is rather nice. Now, don't forget these ones down here. And on this one, I'm going to do here and there, then up a bit. Ooh. I don't know why my pencils are suddenly in the way when they weren't before. Very strange. So we're going to go top left. If I can get the pen to work. Hang on. Because I haven't got it up right, I think. There we go. Top left until we get to the middle. That's the middle one, so we do both on the middle and we swap to the right. Here I'm going to do a bit down there, a bit up there, like I did on the centre one. I don't know why. So the same here. Whoops, moving from side to side. Whoops. Some on the right. Now I've got a feeling this video series might be split up by a planner. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, this is what I've done so far, and we are going to finish with doing Ivy House Mouse in the background. It won't be too difficult. I don't want to make it too tricky, but yes, I'm gonna, that's better. I am going to go and check my messages and see if I need to go out or not. So we'll find out. I may come straight back and record, I may have to go out, but we'll see. But thank you very much for watching. Yeah, do come back and see the rest. We haven't got much to do. Skin tone for Ivy could be challenging, but I think we can do it. And fur, so all sorts of challenges to do. We've done gold, we've done gems, so making progress. But I hope you have a really super day. Thank you for watching, and happy colouring.